I welcome everybody once again for the second session. Our second speaker is Professor Dr. Unnat Pandit, Dean from Atal Bihari Vajpayee School of Management and Entrepreneurship, JNU, Delhi. He shall be speaking on Design Thinking in Pharma Product Development, a Pathway Towards New India. I request Dr. Tejal Gandhi to please introduce sir.
Very good morning, sir. It's my pleasure to welcome you to EFDP session. Uh, Introducing sir, he is a visionary professional carrying 20 years of experience in dealing with techno-commercial activities, protecting intellectual property, innovation, incubation, and entrepreneurship management. Sir has served in various fields of development, starting from research, academic, pharmaceuticals linked to IP innovations, skill, and entrepreneurship. Recently, Sir has moved from bureaucratic role at Niti Aayog to academic career. He has groomed himself in dealing, managing, consulting, advising complexity of innovative products, services, and research and development, offering solution from concept to commercialization success. Strength in mentoring the startup, tech developers, teams, and peers, driving strategic programs, and effective participation in planning, growth, and profitability drives. Formerly, Sir was program director of Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, and also he served as member of IP think tank to draft national IPR policy, OSD to Minister of Commerce and Industry also. Sir is currently serving as Dean of Atal Bihari Vajpayee School of Management Entrepreneurship at Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor of IP, Innovation and Entrepreneurship at JNU. He is professionally associated at various national level platform. To name a few, he is member in board of National Biodiversity Authority, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change from 2022 for 3 years up to 23. He is member of Innovation Committee constituted for CSIR Reorientation, DSIR, Government of India. Member of Research Advisory Board, National Council of Science Museum, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Member of Expert Committee of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. Member of Expert Committee on COVID-19 Perspective Plan for Haryana formed by Government of Haryana. Member of Governing Council of BMS Institute of Technical and Management, Bangalore. Distinguished Fellow and Honorary Visiting Professor of IP and Innovation at SGT University, Gurgaon, Delhi. He is, those who are from Gujarat Technological University, people are aware of this matter, that Sir is also Academic Council member and Research Committee member of Gujarat Technological University, Ahmedabad also. He is Academic Council member of National Resource Center of UGC, HRDC, SCB, Amravati University also. Member of Advisory Board of Center for IPR, GNLU. Member of IPR Advisory Committee at MKBU, Bhavnagar. So he is associated and holding prestigious position at various level in different university at different level at Gujarat government and at Government of India. He is professionally engaged with various startups, institutions in advising, consulting on development and deployment of various innovative technologies. IPR, innovation and incubation management, business strategy, startup mentoring, technology, licensing and IP due diligence, commercialization and corporate social responsibility linked to community initiatives and social need. With this brief introduction, we welcome you, sir, and I now invite him to take over the session and he will brief us on this title, Design Thinking in Pharma Product Development, a Pathway Towards New India. Sir, we are eager to hear you, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you. I'm sure you can see my slides.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, yeah, perfect. Sir.
I will be in a full screen mode, so I won't be able to see. But if if you are not able to hear me or any connectivity related issue is there, would request the organizing team to call me. I am
Yes.
also available on my cell phone. Of course, it is in a silent mode, but I would be able to see your names.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So Dr. Hardik, sorry, but Dr. Hardik Rana will call you if any this type of problem will be there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay. Why? Because I would be in a full screen mode. I won't be able to see that connection got we got disconnected. So it's
Yeah.
better to have this clarity before I begin. And today I have thought that let me just share my thought towards the building the new India and what kind of a role a faculty can play in pharma product development through design thinking approach. And while I am saying that design thinking approach, my primary goal is to explain you the various approaches which one should be adopting in pharma product designing. And I would be taking few examples, but more I have thought that since it is a faculty development program, let me just focus more on the theoretical concept also, and using the relevant example at appropriate time, I would be explaining all this concept. And if you have any queries, feel free that you can type your questions query in the chat box, or if you want to have an intervention through the organizing team, you can also come live based on the access through this team. And more or less around still we are going to be live for about 80 minutes. So would certainly like to have the submission and then want to have the discussion with all the faculty. So in design thinking approach, I would hear the perfect match, which is in sync with today's title, is Ano Badra Kratavo Yantu Vishwata. Let the noble thought come to me from all the directions. So whatever the positive energy, whatever the positive thoughts, idea coming to us should get channelized, and allow all these thoughts to come to us. And with this, I think it is most important and appropriate when this title has been defined by the organizing team. India is approaching to the 75 year, and already Niti Aayog has drafted the strategy paper for the new India at 75. So how we want to see our new India, and our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has given us a vision. The strategy for new India at 75 put together by Niti Aayog is an attempt to bring innovation, technology, enterprise creation, and efficient management together at the core of the policy formulation and implementation towards what? Towards the societal need. And that's what the entire transformation government would like to see, with the intervention of innovation, technology, enterprise creation, and efficiency improvement using the effective management traits. And in line with this, government has announced the National Education Policy. And this National Education Policy is giving us the vision for 21st century. How we want to grow on the path of education, and what a faculty can play a role. And when I say this is specifically, we have an important role to play. We all are having a science, technology, pharmacy background, and would certainly like to appeal on this platform that India needs the innovative solution. On SDG goals, 17 SDG goals which United Nations has put it forward, India is negatively listed on 10 such SDGs. And it's a high time for all of us to gear up and design the innovation, solution, technology development, which can really offer a useful solution to get rid of all this SDG related issues. And most important thing is healthcare and preventive care, where in pharma innovations or pharma product development or systematic development, I should say, can really help us improving our SDG commitments. And definitely there is a growing need in the developmental journey also. And we all foresee that 21st century is century of knowledge, century of innovation and technology upgradation, or corrective actions on a technology front. And if we want Bharat to become a Vishwa Guru, then commitment on academic front is essential. And with this vision, I think national education policy has been put forward to the nation, and it's a high time under this kind of a faculty development program we decide certain and brainstorm on certain commitments through academic institution what we can offer to the new India. And certainly policy has proposed the vision and revamping strategies, and soon it is going to have an implementation pathway. But as an individual or as an institution or as a university, what is our commitment in sync with this national education policy? National education policy emphasizing on a high quality research publication. And if we want to have this kind of a publication, certainly we need to work towards designing and building the culture of research and adequately utilizing the infrastructure resources which is available to us. Certainly, the fund competitive peer-reviewed grant proposals are going to be available. It is already there. How many of us are really designing the proposal? This subject itself is such a wide that if we are going to discuss on a designing the research proposal, it is going to take around 2 to 3 hours. So I think one such topic may also be kept it by the organizer for such a useful and important topic. Seed, grow and facility research at academic institution. So I think Gujarat is fortunate, and majority of the faculty must be from the Gujarat and the nearby region. So you are fortunate to have the infrastructure which is in place, state government which is equally offering you the opportunity to ideate, research and use the seed composition which is offered to you. You have a student startup innovation policy, AICT, which is again offering the best of the support mechanism. Now the commitment is required from the research scholars. And most importantly, they should focus on the national research issues. So either at an institutional level, either at a university level, or either at your departmental level, what is your priority which is in sync with the national research issues? The healthcare issues, tuberculosis. India is negatively ranked in the tuberculosis penetration. Now tuberculosis traditional therapy, which is WHO recommended, but that therapy is now coming up as a resistance to this particular therapy. And tuberculosis is considered to be as a disease for the poor countries. And how long we are going to have this? Government has initiated the tuberculosis program. Whatever the medication which can be offered, that has already been offered. But that is again offering a challenge to the science and researcher. How to deal with this, the tuberculosis resistance. Repurposing of drug. Yesterday I have joined that session. Wonderful session which has been taken. But how we can explore all these opportunities in dealing with those issues which country is facing. Drug prescription is there, but continuation till the therapy completion is really a challenge. And government has done a lot in this tuberculosis management program. Now it's a high time for researcher to come out with the improved and enhanced bioavailable solutions which can deal with the tuberculosis resistance. And this is not just the issue of India. This issue is globally also challenging the researcher. So while deciding the research priorities, I would appeal to all the research faculties to think and design your problem statement, keeping in view the national needs. And certainly the university institutions need to recognize the attempt made by the researcher. And outstanding research, publications, funding, and outcome should be recognized. Your intellectual property also need to be protected. While we are trying to define our priorities, on one hand, pharma industries have the interest on exploring and offering the solutions which gain the high profits. Consistently return on investment they are looking for. And definitely a sustainable growth. This is the common phenomenon for all the industry, not just the pharma. And on other hand, policymaker has a priority to offer the affordable medicine. You might be aware about the Jan Aushadhi Yojana. Accessible healthcare. So pharmacy chain through these Jan Aushadhi Yojana, government has ensured that each district level and each small town level, this kind of Jan Aushadhi pharmacy stores are open. And you might have observed the generic drug is made available at this store. So equally respecting to the IP regime and of course the innovative offering, trying to balance on both the side, national economic goal and societal goal. And this complete slide is offering what is happening into the pharma scenario in the country. And understanding this entire slide, we have to plan into this IP regime and innovation ecosystem how we are going to design our solutions. Equally, knowledge application is important. And on other hand, knowledge production is also equally important. And in academic institutions, university relates that they constantly need some high quality research outcome. And higher education systems or institutions need the tangible outcome in the form of a product or a project or a funding supported, granted research work. Commercial and how far this research is getting commercialized. This is something which is again important. Whatever the research activity which is happening into the academic institutions, how we can foresee or offer the commercial benefit through academic institutions. And to bridge this gap, we need to make sure that we are open enough for the cooperation. Competition is always going to be there. But this competition can be dealt through co-optation. Cooperate with each other. Understand what is required by the commercial entity. And design around your research proposal and the problem statement to work addressing their needs. And that's where the knowledge application or knowledge product will again be in a circular mode. While we are designing and defining this process, in initial phase, you might be thinking that this is too much of a theoretical. But the concept which you might be knowing, or you might be knowing this product, but from the design thinking aspect, how this product really design around in a systematic manner, and what is the learning for all the faculty, I would like to discuss. And for that, this initial few slides are important. Need to have the specific problem which is defined, classify them. Generic problem, we need to make sure that the product which we are offering is made available at a mass level. And certain correlation or principles of innovative problem solving need to be applied there. We will be discussing in few slides. And these kind of a conceptualization should really offer the innovative solutions. While we are doing it so, we need to make sure that these kind of a novel offering is done with the futuristic approach. And while we are thinking that we are more advanced and we would like to offer the innovative offering, then we need to make sure that these kind of offerings are in sync with the futuristic development platform. And while we want these offerings to be most advanced and sophisticated, then we would like to make sure that these things are offered in a way which is adopted by the community. World is moving towards new and advanced technologies. In earlier times, drug modeling, stimulation is fairly a new concept, but this is well adopted outside India. Pharmacometrics, systems pharmacology, model-based drug designing, all this are really essential elements in pharma sector. And drug discovery and development, which we foresee from the futuristic perspective. We have several examples, even during COVID-19 time, wherein we all were confident enough that globally we have all the remedies available to deal with any kind of a disease. Entire world has never ever thought, maybe before December 2019, that entire 70% population is going to be at a risk. And a small virus which is not even visible at any particular moment is going to trap practically the entire world. 70% population of the world is at a risk. So whatsoever may be the resources, or whatsoever may be the infrastructure or structural advancement which we are having, whatsoever may be the culture in the drug design development, any country, world's most innovative countries which are majority surrounding to the advanced ecosystem in Europe, Switzerland, Sweden, Italy, US, UK, nobody is able to address the need which has been floated through this COVID-19 virus. So whatever the theoretical and the developmental aspect which has been put it forward, we could able to ensure that this virus could able to ensure that all the challenges which have been put it forward, the scientific development was helpless. And practically the essential element which has came out is designing the drug, designing the vaccines, redesigning the diagnostic kits, and rapid and agile development which is required. So earlier there used to be a designing a pharmaceutical involves the creativity all across at a research development or even a commercialization stage, and we generally follow this pathway. But beside this, even at a various T1, T2, T3, T4 level, where exactly as a researcher we can contribute. Definitely whatever we are going to design at a lab scale, we are not going to offer the commercial solution. So that doesn't mean that we stop designing or doing the basic research or applied research and explore this applied research for the commercialization. So here I think the most essential, where the new product and the new approaches which is required for the community benefit. There is a huge gap, whatever the kind of a research which is happening in the academic institution. And even though the research is happening, it's implementation. So gradually we have to address the two different gaps. Gap one, the existing research and applications which is happening in academic institution, and second gap is implementation of this. Then let's forget about T1, T2, T3, T4. At least let's focus on a T1. How much of a basic and applied research as an academician we can do it? And the way which was happening in 20th century and the way 21st century has emerged a new trait in the development. And what COVID-19 has taught us is, earlier we used to map any development with the scale and scope. Now we are mapping any development with speed and fluidity. How quickly researchers have offered the cost-effective ventilators. Earlier, we used to import ventilator which is going to cost India roughly around 15, 20, 30 lakhs. Now, ventilator is available at 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees. Entire manufacturing line of Mahindra has been dedicatedly made available for the production of a ventilator. So this is something which is speed and fluidity, predictability and agility. Earlier, we used to predict what is going to be the outcome. Here, the people would like to achieve the end goal. Whether the ventilation can be monitored and structurally, the system, equipment, design is working well for the betterment of a patient or not. That kind of agility is required. Rigid organizational boundaries are just now dissolved. It's a fluid organizational boundary. So researcher from one academic institution is collaborating with another academic institution and even cross-border also. The classic case is the Oxford vaccine, which has been taking a shape with one of the corporate company in India and jointly conducting the clinical trials. And the commercial research and the academic research is coming closer. There used to be a command and control center in the 20th century towards conducting a research and commercializing them. Now the creative empowerment which has emerged in collaboration among these various different kind of entities. Reactive risk average is now translated into the intrapreneurship. When I say intrapreneurship, AICTE has already enforced the faculty-driven startup and facilitation towards such initiative for the academic institution. Now, I don't want any answer, but just take an account. How many faculties have a DIN number, Director Identification Number, which is most essential for establishment of any startup? And how many institutions are encouraging for this? In JNU, we have 3 years of a sabbatical, which is offered to the faculty who would like to establish their own startup. That means they can take a lien, 3 years of a lien, and work 100% on their startup. And this is the facility which is not just available in JNU. It is accessible to all the institutions. All universities are encouraging this. But how many faculties are taking advantage of this? Strategic intent. Earlier, there used to be strategic objective which we want to achieve in a time-bound manner. But now, profit, purpose, and comparative advantage, how far we can offer. And the classic example is entire world was measuring the or diagnosing the COVID-19 using the RT-PCR. I don't deny that this is not the effective or useful method. It is equally useful, but our Indian scientists have developed the paper-based diagnostic kit, and that is more or less effective. More than 90-95% results are accurate, and which is proven now. So earlier there used to be a RT-PCR test which was costing around 4,500 to 5,000 rupees per diagnosis, has been drastically brought down to roughly around 200 to 300 rupees per test. Just analyze how much of a appreciation which the research has got it. Are we prepared to carry out such research? And all these examples are pharma specific. And this is the momentum of a new India. This is the development towards building the new India. And using the analytical traits, whether it's academic research at a university or a business industry research, there is a quite an encouraging environment. Media, society is appreciating all this research. People are desperately looking for the COVID-19 vaccine. Are we ready to offer them? In repositioning one of such trial which is conducted by one Indian pharma company in Gujarat, that is something which is holistically important, and the way they have designed the formulation is important learning for us. I will come to this example in my next few slides. But government and public policy is equally important, and to apply the knowledge all across the quadruple helix innovation model. And while we would like to apply our knowledge all across the geopolitical system, the most important element which is again in the center is the innovation, innovative offering. And as an individual, we need to get ourselves motivated, ensure that we are sufficiently inspired, and our inspiration leads us towards designing the creative solution. And there are three essential elements which is most important: creative thinking, inspirational dream, and the self-confidence. And for any project, problem, or even at an individual level, these three elements are essential. So in COVID-19, we have a different strains, and almost 15 strains are reported in India. And if we are thinking that these strains are really going to put a challenge, then nobody believes that currently world is looking for a COVID-19 vaccine based on one particular strain. But just imagine if all the 15 strains are going to be on an increased penetration mode, then what is going to get happen? And still few cases are reported that a person recovered with one particular strain of a COVID-19, within a week or within couple of weeks, this person is again getting infection of a second strain, COVID-19. And we have 15 such strains. So how long this disease penetration is going to be there? And most of the vaccines are addressing through a particular strain sequencing. So whatsoever may be the cost which is going to get incurred on these kind of a novel offerings, still we are not addressing the need in total. So world is looking for a solution which is designed effectively and which can add the which can offer the novel solution. And while we are trying to offer a novel solution, we need to identify the key drivers. Key driver in these kind of a problem is it should be sufficiently addressing the need of an individual to combat with the COVID-19 infection. The COVID-19 infection should certainly result an effective outcome which we should get it against all such strain. It should be, it should not have a limitation in making this product available in a remote location. The major challenge in few vaccine candidate is the temperature condition and the efficiency which they are offering. Though people claim 90-95% efficiency on a one particular strain, not all across the 15 strains. So that means again the reworking is required here. One particular product which is available since 1999 in India, and that product has been repurposed for various different kind of a disease. So it was at one particular point in time, it was approved for leprosy. Then that product was used for the influenza. Then that product was repurposed for the tuberculosis. Then this product was repurposed for the cancer. Then this product was repurposed for the antiretroviral HIVs. Wherein in all across these different kind of a disease, mainly the immunity is getting compromised. And these immunity, innate immunity. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
Perfectly.
you're audible.
So some sound came, so I thought that I got this.
Perfectly.
So innate immunity is getting compromised in all these kind of a disease. And this innovative product which has been designed by the Indian company, which has been tested on more than 5,000 patients or healthy volunteers. I should not be using the term patient, healthy volunteer. It is equally useful for the preventive care, and equally in the different dosage form, it is managing the disease even at a critical condition. So this product has been passed through all these 7 stages. Product has been defined, appropriate problem which is put it forward, which has a research background, so safety, efficacy, and its mode of action is already established. Now ideating the solution, that means use of this product. Generally like BCG, which has a Th1, Th2 response, wherein dual response is reducing the impact or reducing the potential towards offering the innate immunity or boosting the immunity. So this product which is there, which increases the Th1 response, which is most essential in dealing with this kind of a communicable infections. Prototype, again, the product is already into the market, but the clinical efficacy is to be proved, and it has been shown that more than 90% healthy volunteers got protection from the COVID-19. And in Delhi, the results are even higher than that. So this is a classic case of a design thinking approach in repurposing of the drug, which has drastically reduced the entire developmental path. And that's where the most essential elements which has been offered when world was looking towards the novel product, or at any cost, any value they wanted a solution, and the need proposition of the product. In design thinking process, all these three things should be having a harmony. And very few and rare product which can offer this kind of a harmony. The product is an immunomodulator, which I am referring here. I myself has also taken. And touch wood, since last more than 100 days, I have been exposed outside, but have not got any kind of a COVID-19. And this is the power behind design thinking offering, which is available. Similarly, I would like to use few example here. One such novel formulation is a Polycap. Polycap is offered by Cadila Pharmaceuticals, which is again Ahmedabad-based pharmaceutical entity, wherein entire world was facing a challenge in keeping 5 APIs in one small capsule. And we named the researcher. Everybody were failed in offering this 5 API consisting small capsule. And when we have to design this, we need to keep the drug-drug interaction, which is likely to happen while designing the formulation. So every API has a different metabolites, and metabolite to API interaction, again increasing the complexity. So if we have a 5 APIs, then on a remote potential, 5 factorial combinations can create the hindrance in the formulation design. And now you can imagine that how much complex formulation design it would have been. But the systematic design thinking approach, the process which is required to be followed, was ensured at the time of development. And this is the only company, several pharmaceutical companies have made an attempt, but the only company which could able to successfully commercialize this product. Product name is Polycap. Another such product, which is Naso B12. Earlier, we used to offer the methylcobalamin through either tablet or through injection. And absorption is again the issue. One pharma company has offered a Naso B12 nasal spray. And through this nasal spray, they could able to achieve the successful bioavailability of vitamin B12. One such product which is again there, diclofenac sodium injection. When entire world, including the innovator, who could not able to offer the innovative solution which has the painless injectable offering, and this kind of a painless injectable offering is again really a complex, and all including the innovator and the other generic company were offering the injectable formulation involving the surfactant and the transcutanol. But this injectable formulation has been designed and strategically designed, I should put it forward here, strategically designed through a design thinking approach, And this design thinking approach has resulted into the painless diclofenac sodium injection. And even innovator could not able to design around this. And though it was a very selected patent application, which got granted by Indian Patent Office and outside India also. But this selective gap, which was in existence, was identified by the researcher. And this gap has been addressed through a design thinking approach towards offering the novel formulation. And that is where the scientific approach in design thinking of a pharmaceutical product plays an important role. There are several other vaccine candidates which are under development. And one such, I have thought that let me just also take an example. There is a technology called a VLP, virus-like particle technology, for development of a vaccine. So this technology has entire cluster of a virus cell without the basic RNA component. And this without the helix structure, the outside surface is having the same spikes and mimicking the virus. So body is producing the response against this virus mimic, and the innate immunity is getting boosted. So the dosage level which is required, which is ranging from 0.1 ml to 1 ml, 2 ml, depending on the disease for which the vaccine is getting developed. But again, a design thinking approach, and these are the particles, not the real virus. And they are offering a unique, innovative solutions. So all these could able to achieve, and how it works. The creative process, design thinking process is required to be followed at each level. Design, brainstorm, think, vision and idea to address the research need, and how this again will give an inspiration towards developing a new and innovative solution. So I think again I have exceeded the time, but would like you to again understand. Again, one of the researcher from Gujarat who has designed the COVID-19 solution. He is currently working in IIT Guwahati. The detection kit, Parmeshwaran Iyer is the name. So this slide is designed to give the contribution to such a Indian scientist. And his contribution has also been recognized by PM in Man Ki Baat. Also recognized by the Minister of Education, Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, and officially through a Ministry of Education. And this has really given us the opportunity that faculty-driven startups need to be encouraged. Now think, what is your contribution so far in this developmental journey? You also have the fertile and futile thought process. Allow it to come out of box. And thinking wisely, addressing all the tri-leg metrics: business viability, technological feasibility, and people's desirability. The intersection is going to be the experience-based innovation, which needs to be nurtured through the design thinking approach. And if you have any questions, We can pause for the question. Otherwise, I can continue my session. Do
So
you
you
want
can
to have a-
continue.
Yeah.
You can continue for 10 more minutes. After that, we'll have the questions.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So my
Sarika,
next,
we go up to 12:55. Sorry, but we can continue for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and then we can have a questions.
not an issue, not an issue. But
Yeah, yeah.
why I wanted to take a pause at that particular stage. See, as a faculty, we need to think that from academic institutions, how we can spur the innovation. University has a typical structure, and academic research is dedicated towards academic activities as a teaching, publication, research, learning, and establishing the connect within the ecosystem, which we all are doing. And entrepreneurship has to follow the or spur through public policies. Business, industry, university research need to be deployed and need to make sure that the ecosystem is vibrant enough to appreciate this. So from the typical university administration, typical academic environment, and typical entrepreneurship need, the inner intersection, which is no way happening in these three established systems, academic entrepreneur need to prepare themselves. So as a faculty, are we really leveraging the benefit offered by the AICTE, UGC towards nurturing the academic entrepreneur? The DIN number which I have asked, that might be a one beginning. Having a DIN number won't enable the academic entrepreneurship. Adequate amount of efforts will be required to put it forward. PESTEL is the challenges as well as solutions. We need to holistically think it through. So the entrepreneurship, academic, and the university, the PESTEL, which is essentially need to be addressed by all the aspiring entrepreneur. And in entire entrepreneurship capability mapping, local environment or innovation ecosystem, which is now most of the academic institutions are nurturing. Strategic initiative, how many strategic initiative, what is the institutional norms, regulations, government policy, incentives, and the support system which is offered by the various initiatives like SSIP, which is there in Gujarat, and several other states also have a similar program in place. Whatever the unique offering which we are giving, what exactly is the market size and the structure? So the basic, the gap 1, gap 2, which we want to address, do our product offering is in sync with this gap 1, gap 2? And what, as an organization, we are giving a value for the system? Do our governance model is adequate enough to offer such incentive in the academic institutions? And if answer is yes, what is the decision-making process? So we cannot ensure or we cannot enforce that everything should be done by one individual. He or she should be given the adequate flexibility to play around or work on their research problem and ensure that innovative offering is useful for the society. And public policy or the entrepreneur's true potential. Again, the financial and economic viability or sustainability to nurture those innovation should also be reviewed. And definitely, wherever the market demand is there, are we ready to fulfill the supply? If our answer is yes, then our institution, our department, our group of academicians are ready for the entrepreneurship, or even an individual also. And the quadruple helix, what we have discussed, in order to spur the creativity and academic entrepreneurship, we need to holistically think on what know-how as an individual we can offer. If we think that towards building a new India through a design thinking pharmaceutical solutions offering, are we prepared to offer such solution for new India? The way the Polycab, the way the Nezu B12, the way Dynapar, the way VLP platforms are designed and offered. How much of such quality research which we are doing and we are offering? Again, this is a talent game. A pathway need to be designed towards new India. Design thinking process in pharmaceutical development is a critical element, and I must appreciate the organizing team for designing their structural program for FDP and giving the space to the design thinking in pharmaceutical product development, a space. And that kind of a learning need to be spurred. Increase the technology adaptation in the education. How much novel technological learning which we are giving to our faculty and the students. Utilize the most appropriate modern tools, infrastructure, and balance your offering towards the traditional need of society. So much of innovative technology platforms which are emerging, artificial intelligence, machine learning, futuristic engineering, value education, need to have a harmony in Bharatiya education system. One such example where in classic product name is Nadi Tarangini, offered by one of the IIT Bombay pass out PhD student who has worked on his PhD work towards designing the sensors. So this Nadi Tarangini is offering a novel product which is first time in the world. So we all know in Ayurveda, people used to, Ayurvedacharya, an efficient Ayurvedacharya used to put his 3 fingers here, and how the Nadi pulse is offering the bits, and based on this 3 pulse, they could able to sense the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Prakriti of an individual. And that's a science. And the skilled people could able to still identify what is the deviation in the each individual property or combination of that. So if we try to plot the individual as well as combination, that then we have a 3 factorial, means 27 combination which is possible. And this combination, now we don't have, or we don't have that mechanism through which we can identify the Vata, Pitta, Kapha and combination of that, which is further leading to the diagnosis of a particular disease. So this chap has designed a sensor which identifies these three Prakruti and combination thereof. So if the device which has the three sensor which has been put it here nearby the nadi, and based on the pulses and the rhythm, this sensor are plotting the 27 graphical submissions on each such Prakruti and combination thereof. And through this, a doctor or Ayurvedacharya can predict the penetration of a particular disease or its symptoms. Now, Ayurveda doesn't just work. We also have a rich knowledge in Ayurveda. So there used to be a symptoms wherein during the first 15 days of a moon growing, the disease penetration and its diagnosis and the symptoms are going to be different. And similarly, while moon is going to shrink, the disease penetration symptoms are going to have a different pattern. Equally, of course, people still don't believe that why Ekadashi, why fast, why a weekly fast, why a fortnightly fast. It has a scientific rationale. Even on a fasting, person has done a research in a Western world and has been given a Nobel Prize. I think 5-7 years back, a Nobel Prize was given. And this device has further been challenged by identifying the Nadi and Prakruti of 25,000 healthy or patients or volunteer who have contributed this. And their 3 factorial measurement. So an AI is built on this. And through machine learning and purely a futuristic engineering, so Ayurveda knowledge is mapped through a sensor technology, and through sensor technology, a device which is working, which is linked to the platform, central platform, where the AI and ML is analyzed. So the ultimate application is going to be, I am sitting in Delhi. Delhi is having a cold weather. And if I have to travel, say, as at a Bengaluru. So Delhi has a 10-15 degree temperature, very highly polluted city. Bangalore, which has around 30-32 degree temperature. So according to the Delhi weather, what should be the balanced diet which can make my Prakruti, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, balanced one? And what is going to be the implication when I flew via any flight to Bengaluru, and what should be the local ingredient which I should be consuming towards prophylactic and well-being of my health? And this is the design thinking approach. This is the futuristic pharmaceutical solution designing. And this is the way
So we have
people need to collaborate and make sure that team building, governance, corporate, community players are always going to help. But make sure that we have a handshaking with the system, with the professional competency, academia and professional competency need to join hand in hand and create an healthy environment towards foster the R&D innovation deployment. And with this word, I would like to pause my speech. We can have question answer if you have any further question queries.
Yes, sir. We have received a couple of questions from the delegates. The first question is how we can protect an idea if we have applied for patent and we are also planning to go for startup.
See,
How we can protect our idea.
First and the most important thing, ideas are not patentable. Under the non-patentable subject matter, section 3, which is dealing with this, ideas are not patentable subject matter. Adequate amount of a practical proof of concept we must design, and we need to prove that whatever the conceptual designing which we have developed is working towards addressing the challenge, scientific challenge.
Sir, if we have developed a product and we have applied for patent as well as we are going for startup, then is it possible to protect?
That is possible, and that's also encouraged. That if we have developed a proof of concept and this proof of concept is robust enough, covering the end product, then once we protect our patent, protect our invention or innovation through a patent, we can very well explore the startup journey. And as a faculty, if we are unable to do it, so the students who are engaged in designing this particular invention, we can nurture them, we can join with them, and jointly faculty and students can establish this startup. Initially for 3 years, even faculty, if they would like to dedicatedly contribute, they can get the sabbatical. And if not, then their students can work on this idea and make it a commercially successful. And even we are unable to do it, so as a faculty, we can establish the research startup. Whatever the research which we conduct, maybe up to preclinical or even in vitro studies, we can do it. If we have a preclinical formulation data which is available at any point in time in a developmental journey, we can easily out-license this invention if we have sufficiently protected through patent. And that's most important for all the faculty, to protect the invention through patent filing.
So we have one more question. What are the criteria or process to get DIN number?
It's a very simple. You just need to apply for the DIN online, and you need to have a digital signature. So it's an online application which one has to file for getting, and any CS or a chartered accountant can also help you with this. This is a basic fundamental thing. By paying a few bucks, you can get your DIN. But get your DIN when you want to use it for establishing the startup. It's not like a PAN number or Aadhaar card which you can get it for you and keep it in the safe custody. No. If you are not using the DIN, that will go negative for you. So don't just get the DIN just for the sake of, like Aadhaar card and PAN card, we have a DIN card also. It is not like that.
Okay, sir. So what is the role of design thinking principle in selection of API and excipients?
See, design thinking concept applies when you have selected your target. Design thinking per se do not play any role in selecting your goal. You have to apply the technical concept. What is in API says, India want to have an indigenization of an API. So what is the priority for India? where government want the indigenization. If government wants the indigenization of antibiotics, then which kind of antibiotics government has a priority? Cephalosporin, if they have to indigenize, then in cephalosporin, then we can target that this particular type of cephalosporin I would like to design around, and design a green chemistry API process which has a cost effective and without any side reaction. So of course it is ambitious, and it should have a cost effective offering. So if we have to play around these kind of identified drivers, then we need to conduct a research, and this research should result into the useful information, and using the information derived from the research and the information, we need to work on a paper chemistry. And if our paper chemistry is convincing and has a scientific rationale, then we should work on designing the experiment for our bench activities. And these bench activities can further help us in proving the concept. And if concept is working, then first we need to file a patent. And then we need to scale up this particular process at least at 100 grams or 1 kg level. And if that is working well, then we need to think of exploring it to the commercial or even a pilot scale manufacturing. And at each level, right from the 1 gram to the 1 kg, we need to have a quality specification gradually emerging and decided out of the development. And that's where at each stage, knowingly, unknowingly, we are following several design thinking approaches. If we are doing it unknowingly, we need to know and gradually make sure that our approach is perfect and systematic. So the time frame which is required, we can shrink this time frame, and that's where the success will be achieved. Yeah.
So we can take one last question. How
Sure.
regulatory agencies in India are working towards patient-centric dosage form based on design thinking principle?
Still, even the process is evolving. And gradually, even pre-COVID era, where the regulatory approaches were taking too longer time. At least now regulatory approaches are shrink to such a level wherein now the files and reviews are happening virtual mode. And this is a drastic change which I have never foreseen in a regulatory process in India. But again, things are evolving, and they are also going to adopt a novel approaches in review and approval process. And I'm keeping my finger crossed. We are also soon going to foresee the better and improved regulatory mechanisms.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for the excellent talk where you interconnected design thinking. Yes, ma'am.
Can I have one question if you have time?
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sir, normally, in institute, pharmacy institute, we are going for various new formulations. We are going for patent, but it's very difficult because of regulatory requirement and all doing startup. We have a SSIP cell since last 3 years. We have applied for so many patents. We are doing so many good POC. So what is your opinion, whether we have to go for commercialization of that our products? Or? Or
In
startup.
my opinion, you should approach the industry. MSME sector is desperately in need of innovation. We have the proof of concepts established. Why can't we give all these proof of concepts and let them commercialize through systematic licensing agreement? You will earn the revenue. See, we academicians are yet to evolve as a business person, but those people who are already into the business, let's have an effective remedy which is available to us. Out license our innovations IP to them, and why can't, like hackathons, like ideation events, why can't we have a IP fairs? And such IP fair, our students, faculty need to offer the IP, innovative solutions to the industry, small, medium enterprises. Nothing harm in organizing such event. And that's how gradually the system will get evolved and will unique offering will benefit to us.
Sir, in continuation with that, at what time, once we are applying, at that time we have to approach to the industry, or once we will get approval, we have to go for this?
Once we have a confident result in our LNBs,
Okay.
which
Okay,
are
thank
we produce, which has a consistency in the offering.
you. Okay.
And at that point in time, we need to approach them. So at a 1 gram to at least 100 gram level, the results should show the consistent performance. And what is exactly the analytical methods which is required to prove that the desired quality of API which we are producing, we can see in a lab scale. And this can be done. This is the fundamental research which every faculty is expected to do. And if we are prepared for do it so, then we need to protect through IP, and then through IP protection, at least when we file the IP, then we should go for licensing of our process and research.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for answering all our queries and for giving the excellent talk.